One take and one take only. All right, welcome to our podcast. My name is Kevin.
My name is Toparek.
And my name is Christine. How you doing?
Together we're the Powerpuff Girls. And for today's topic, we're gonna be talking about some Hamlet.
Let's go!
Okay. So, first topic on the schedule, baby. So, we're going to talk about Ophelia's death. What do you guys think that was more of a suicide or more of like an accident, man?
I feel like it was more of an accident, personally, because if she's gonna she's insane. Like her mental state isn't really there at the moment, and she's just gonna go around gathering flowers, and then she ends up falling into a pool of water. Like, I don't know. It doesn't click that she'll try swimming out, but it also doesn't make sense because in the movie, her dress was very light, and she took that off in 2 seconds, very quickly. So I mean, she could have saved herself, or maybe and they said the dress was heavy from all that stuff, but maybe she was buoyant. She could have been buoyant enough to float, so she would have survived. But it really doesn't make sense. But I think it's an accident.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, to me, I feel like it's kind of an accident, but also kind of a suicide, just because, uh, like she could have swam, bro, but maybe she's just kind of dumb and she didn't know how to. Like people back in the days, they weren't like us where we can go to the nearest pool and just go learn how to swim. But over there, you have to live by the coast to learn how to swim, because they didn't have lots of sources of pools and stuff like that. But also, um, I think it was Gertrude. She said that the dress was heavy, and that's why she died. Like the dress was really heavy, and back in the days, I think the dresses were heavy. Yeah. So,
She couldn't save herself.
yeah. And then also to me, maybe the madness also made her. I don't want to say dumb, but kind of dumb. You know what I mean? Like maybe she was just walking through with her lilies and you know walk she was walking around and she was just picking the flowers, you know what I mean? And she fell in and she was just like, "Oh, I'm still picking my flowers." Like she might have not realized that she had fallen in the water and she had been choking, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I see. I see. What about you, Christine? What do you think?
I think that it was an accident that she fell in the water, but then she chose not to get out, so then it was a suicide at the end. Because in before, the book didn't really signify that she was gonna do anything. It didn't have any hints that she was planning on taking her life. And she previously gathered flowers to pass out to everybody. So it's a possibility that she may have actually went to gather flowers. She didn't go to the water to try and drown herself. And also the songs that she sang during the scene with the king, the queen and her brother, they show that she was insane. And since her father just died and she also had that drama relationship problems with Hamlet, she probably was not really motivated to keep on going.
Yeah. I mean, also one more thing if I can interject here. Um in some cases when people are wearing big dresses like the people in these days, the dresses can, you know, poof up around them, and then when they fall in, it can come around them and block their view and they don't know where they're going. So then she just ends up, maybe going in circles and she doesn't know which way's up, which way's down. And maybe also the madness played a role in that she didn't know in the first place which way was up and which way was down. Like maybe she,
What?
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. I see. I see. I see. But okay, that leads me to my next question. Do you think her madness was genuine or fake? Because I think it's genuine. Because she's coming over the stress of her father's death. She has to deal with boy problems with Hamlet, with his erratic behavior and the political turmoil and uh yeah. But it seems like she's, I don't know, she's using her madness as a way to cope for all the stuff that's going on, and it's more of a combination of all those factors that are making her like, insane. But her death was just really abrupt. It was just casually brought up by Gertrude, and yeah.
Um, yeah, I think that Ophelia's madness was very real for the most part, and then I think that Hamlet's was mostly fake, especially in the beginning, because Ophelia, she was passing out flowers in front of the king and queen. That is not something that someone would normally do. And she also sang in front of them, which is very bold. And then she didn't let anyone interrupt her. She started like cutting people off when they tried to speak.
Y-
Hamlet, he, I feel like his madness was probably fake, like at the beginning, especially since he was messing with Polonius. He confused him on purpose and acted like really weird just to like, mess with him.
yeah. Um, talking
It
about
seemed really genuine. I don't
ta-
know.
I want to finish up Ophelia's madness real quick, but um, she could have gone insane just because at the beginning of the book she was already very like she didn't have a very good mental state. Like she was already very worried constantly about Hamlet and who her future husband's gonna be, and stuff like that. Like when you're Pookie Hamlet, daddy baby,
Whoa.
when Pookie Hamlet just starts like loving her, like showing affection, and then instantly does a 180 and like goes insane and stops talking to her. It's gonna make her mad. It's gonna make her sad, mad, and like all that. Um, maybe one thing I was thinking that maybe the reason why Chris or not Christine, Ophelia's death was so fast and like just like thrown in there was
Abrupt.
maybe yeah, abrupt. Maybe it was because she wasn't very important to the rest of the story. Like maybe Shakespeare was just like, nah, bro, and just they chucked her out. Like maybe she, like in a different version, could have ended up saving Claudius because she didn't know what Claudius did.
I feel like the big theme of like Act 5, especially with like all the deaths that are going on in that, was just like, because like William Shakespeare is known for tragedies like The Raven, stuff like that. And yeah, I think it climaxes on a tragedy, and it's kind of sad that no, is it Horatio is the only one that lives through it and gets to tell the story. Stuff like, yeah.
You might be asking a question, and that question may be, how many people died in this little book, bro? Like, how many people died? And I got the perfect answer for you. So, 9 out of the 11 central characters, those are like main characters, died. And I'm gonna go in order. I'm gonna list them off. Number one, you go King Hamlet. King Hamlet, not Hamlet, but King Hamlet. Then you got Polonius, Ophelia, Rosencrantz, Guildenstern, Laertes, Gertrude, Claudius, and Prince Hamlet. One thing I wanted to throw in there was, if you think about it, the only one that wasn't in, I think it's Act 5, to die then was King Hamlet. King Hamlet was the only one that died previously to Act 5. And I found that kind of insane, and I found it actually kind of excessive that Shakespeare did that. Like I know it's a what do you call it? What kind of book is this? Tragedy.
I feel like he's setting up like the story though with like the ghost of King Hamlet. That, like, killing him off in the beginning was perfect so that they have like Prince Hamlet has a reason to go on in the story. That's what the main motivator of the story, you know?
Yeah. Um yeah, but I did find that like very interesting, and I liked that part of the story, but I found that the end was very excessive. Like I don't think everybody should have died there. Like maybe save a couple people and throw them in jail. It doesn't always have to be just he did something bad, kill him. Like, it's kind of excessive. I know it's a tragedy, but it's kind of excessive. Um, talking about Gertrude. Gertrude. Anybody want to throw in some info on that?
Gertrude? Oh yeah, okay, no, because I feel like her death was kind of, it wasn't in the movie. You could see her just like someone what's his name?
Claudius.
Claudius warned her about the drink, and she still drank it. It seemed like she was like going through some, like, she feels guilty about what she did for Hamlet, what she did to Hamlet, and the way that she just marries the brother of King Hamlet. It's like an act of betrayal. It's kind of sad, but I think that's the way that the movie interpreted it. I feel like she just accidentally drank it just by reading the book.
I think that Gertrude she definitely felt really guilty, because when Hamlet went to like, when they were having their talk in her bedroom, um, she started like crying and stuff. She was in distress. She was stressing out. Like, please stop talking. I know, because he was exposing the things that she did wrong. So I think she definitely felt really guilty about that. And I think Gertrude probably knew that something was up with the cup, but she just felt so guilty about what she did that she drank it on purpose.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
In a way, I think she was also trying to prove herself, like try and like clear some of the guilt off by
Redeem
drinking.
herself.
Yeah, by drinking some of the poison, whatever wine, like drinking some of it to show Hamlet that like don't drink this, but like in the end he does anyway. So, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of, it was for a reason, but it kind of in the end didn't really matter. But yeah.
What did you guys think about the ending? It seemed pretty rushed too, because it was all in Act 5. Like, like it just peaked and then it just like the rising action, and it just stopped at the climax, and then after that it's just tell my story and then the end.
For real.
Yeah, I think that the ending was super rushed. There's no elaboration on Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Like, we don't know if they actually died. We assume that they got executed, but there's like no confirmation. We weren't able to see how Horatio would tell Hamlet's story, since he was the only one left. He's the only one who like knew what actually happened. And leading off of that, we couldn't see how the public reacted to all that information. And then also him all of a sudden getting back to Denmark on a boat, that did not make any sense, because why did they just let him go back? How did they let him go back? And they just don't mention them at all for the rest of the story.
Yeah, like speaking on like how pirates literally were just like, yeah, you can just leave me and like leave us and go back to where you came from. Like if I was a pirate, I'd be like, hey, we gonna take you back, but we're gonna take you for some money, bro. For some
Yeah,
real
at this
money.
point just hold him up for ransom.
You know what I mean? We're gonna get paid. But at the end, I was stuck thinking like, but like who became the king afterwards? Because Laertes died,
Horatio.
bro.
Horatio.
King
He's
Horatio.
the hero. He's
You
the
know, but like
unsung
for real
hero.
though, like they wanted Laertes to become king. He died. Hamlet wanted to become king. He died. Claudius was king. He died. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they killed literally every character who could have been king besides, Horatio. So let's get a hashtag Horatio for king.
But yeah, well, that's pretty much all the time that we have for today. Well, thank you for listening. Thank you guys so much. The Powerpuff Girls are signing out.
Let's go, bro. We are out.
Peace.
Peace.
I don't know what to say.